does it hit you at all? Do you allow it to penetrate your mind at all that this very well could be your last home game as a Patriot?
I haven't thought about those things, and I wouldn't be thinking about those things anyway. It's felt like a normal week for me, so I just approach practice like I always have and try to do the best I could do.
Tom Brady talking about the possibility that it will be his last home game with the Patriots. Could be his last game ever with the Patriots if they lose to the Titans on Saturday night. And Tom Brady's not thinking about any of that. Look, cyborgs don't entertain human emotion, Big Cat. And I've been saying all week, the Patriots are the Terminator. Assume that they are dead at your own peril. Turn your back on that puddle of goo, and up comes the Terminator to slice you in half. That's who the Patriots are. We've seen it time and again. They want us to say it's over. They want us to say Tom Brady's leaving. They want us to say all the negative things because they use that as their fuel to prove to everyone they're still the Patriots.
Yeah, this game is interesting to me because of what you just said, and I have a rule where if I pick a game, I want to be right. Obviously, I want to be right. But more than that, I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to sit on my couch on Saturday night, watch the Patriots go up 14-0, and say to myself, you did it again, you dum-dum. You bet on Ryan Tannehill going into Foxborough in January. How could you be so stupid? Listen, if the Titans keep this close, I don't think it would shock anyone because the Titans are a good team. They've played great football. Ryan Tannehill has been the best quarterback in the NFL since he took over. It's crazy to say that, but it's the truth. His numbers have been eye-popping. They score points, up and down the field with Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. But when it comes to, and I know this is, I think you had this disagreement with Sims earlier this week, betting on mystique, betting on a team that's done it before. I don't care. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick in January in Foxborough against a quarterback making his first playoff start in his career. Come on. That's crazy. That is crazy. So I also, Mike, I want to go back real quick. 2 weeks ago, I know last week was baffling because more than the Patriots losing the Dolphins, it was a Bill Belichick team that didn't feel like they were ready. You know what I mean? They came out kind of flat, and their defense didn't perform to the level that it did all the rest of the year. They kind of thought, we'll just come out here, we'll roll the helmets out, and we'll beat the Dolphins. That was the weird part to me. It wasn't that the Patriots somehow got exposed to the point where their problems are so huge. We know what their problems are. Their offense is not dynamic, and their defense can be run on at times. But more than anything, it was a lack of, maybe not preparation, but feeling like that was a game they had to win. So throw that out, though. What happened 2 weeks ago when Tom Brady threw back the clock and had an all-time performance against the Buffalo Bills? Are we just forgetting that? I know that it's very quick to throw the Patriots out, and I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl team. I think they're going to lose next week to the Kansas City Chiefs. What I'm saying is, if you're talking about Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in Foxborough in January, I'm not going against that.
Yeah, it is going to be a lot harder to have faith in the Patriots next week, but I agree with you. Everything that we've seen for the last 20 years counts for something. 41 playoff starts for Tom Brady when we include tomorrow night's game. He's got 30 postseason wins, Big Cat, which is more than the 11 starting quarterbacks in this year's field combined. That's the kind of and look, it's 2 full seasons plus of playoff football. He knows what it's like to operate with your season on the line. He's done it time and time and time again. And here's Ryan Tannehill for the first time ever. In the 8th year of his career, for the first time ever, he's starting a playoff game. And, Sims believes it's more embarrassing to not realize that it's staring us right in the face that the Titans are the better team. But I think I disagree, and it sounds like you do too. It would be far more embarrassing to discount all the success, all the greatness, all the achievements we've seen from a team that has won playoff games in the past where they were written off, where we did think they weren't the better team, and they still found a way to get it done, dating all the way back to Super Bowl 36 when they somehow beat the Rams.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout, and I'm not saying the Titans don't deserve to be there, and I don't think that, the Titans have been a very, very good team in the last 2 months, and Derrick Henry has been a force of nature. We talk about, Derrick Henry, Tractorcito is his nickname. When we get to November and December, guys don't want to tackle him anymore. And the numbers that he has put up in the last 2 months of the season, the last 3 years, have been absolutely eye-popping. So when you have a guy like that, you can run the football, you can hopefully control a little clock, keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands. I think that will obviously play a huge part in the Titans having success. I'm just simply going off the fact that it's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in January. And if that makes me stupid, that's fine. I don't think the Patriots are that good this year. But I also know that they have the ability to still be the Patriots when they need to throw back the clock, like Tom Brady did against the Buffalo Bills. And everyone said that was a vintage Tom Brady performance. That was 2 weeks ago. That wasn't 3 years ago. That was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, they looked bad against the Dolphins, and that was a head scratcher. And that actually, again, more confirms what I already knew. The Patriots are not a Super Bowl team this year. But it doesn't confirm the fact that they can't win a game in January at home against the Tennessee Titans.
And I agree with you. If I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be wrong by believing in 2 decades of greatness. I'll believe in that. The Titans still have a lot to prove to me, and they may be the better team, and they may win the game. And Ryan Tannehill may play like the guy who posted the 4th highest full season passer rating that we've ever seen, 117.5. He started 10 games, but still, that's a hell of an achievement. And Derrick Henry has been great, and he's playing for a contract, right, or the franchise tag. I mean, the Titans are going to have some big decisions to make. They have 2 key players in Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry who are due to become free agents in March. So, they have a team that has individuals who are motivated financially to go out there and have a big game, and the team is motivated to show what it can do. And oh, by the way, there is snow possibly in the forecast for this one. They're calling it Winter Storm Henry. I hate that they name winter storms, but they do. Winter Storm Henry. Will that matter to Derrick Henry? Will that? I mean, that plays into the Patriots' mystique, right?
Wait. The winter storm's actually named Henry?
It's named Henry.
Now I'm betting on the Titans.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Everything I said, just throw it out. There's a winter storm Henry coming to New England when Derrick Henry is also going to play change everything I said. Flip it all. Everything I said, play it back if you have a DVR, play it back and then just pretend I said the exact opposite. There's a winter storm Henry coming to New England and Derrick Henry's playing. Come on.
It's also his birthday tomorrow. Does that reinforce your point?
Of course that plays into it. Yes, this all plays into it. He's probably going to have 250 yards. I wish I had known this fact before I said everything. Yeah.
It is amazing. It is amazing how well he plays. And remember, the last we ever saw of Darrelle Revis 2 years ago was making a business decision to not try to tackle Derrick Henry on what ultimately became a 3rd down conversion that allowed the Titans to ice the clock in Kansas City against the Chiefs. I mean, who wants to get in this guy's way? They asked Bill Belichick earlier this week how you go about simulating Derrick Henry in practice, and he said it's impossible. I mean, the combination of size, speed, and power, it's amazing he is not the most well-known running back in the NFL, or at least one of the guys. We never talk about Derrick Henry. Is it because he plays for the Titans and nobody cares about the Titans? Isn't that odd? And if you're Mike Vrabel, you find a way to, hey, this is our way to take all those people out there that think we're just some bottom-of-the-barrel team that is the Washington Generals to the Harlem Globetrotters. This is our chance to prove to everyone that we are a part of this landscape and we've got some great players.
Yeah, absolutely. I think to answer your question about why we don't talk about Derrick Henry as much as maybe some of the other running backs in the NFL is that he doesn't catch the ball enough. The running back position in the NFL has become a spot where, look at Christian McCaffrey, over 100 yards or 100 catches this year. Guys who are talked about at that extra level, that elite level, and Derrick Henry is elite, by the way. They catch the ball as well, and they're dynamic in both ways, and they can burn you both ways. So I'd say that's probably the only reason. I'm just trying to find a reason why we don't talk about him, and that's probably a decent reason, but we should still talk about him more than we do because he has been phenomenal. And those numbers, go back and look at those numbers. I'm telling you, November, December, the last 3 years, he has been insane. Insane. No one wants to tackle this guy. No one can tackle this guy. He is an incredible running back in the old school fashion, Mike. And I think maybe that plays into it too. He can just beat guys up. He doesn't have the Christian McCaffrey, the wow factor that some of these newer running backs have. But he can do it, and he can do it in January. He can do it in December, and he can do it when there's Weather Storm Henry coming to Foxborough on Saturday.
He had one 100-yard rushing game before November the 10th,
See?
and it was exactly 100 yards. It was exactly 100 yards, September 29 at Atlanta. Since November 10, 188, 159, 149, 103, 86. They sat him for the Saints game. He was kind of injured, but he could have played if that game mattered. And then 211 to end the season in the game they had to have to get to the playoffs. And boy,
That's it, Mike. Mike, that's it.
Are we
though.
both abandoning? I'm not abandoning my pick.
Mike, that's it though. We've been talking about it on Pardon My Take since November, December started. This is when Derrick Henry season starts. It's a different type of beast that you're working with here. Last year, they had that game against Jacksonville. He ran for 238 yards, had 4 touchdowns. That happened in December. Like, he gets to this part of the season, and people just don't want to bring him down because he has got that extra gear. I'm not going to talk myself out of the Patriots. I'll stick with my pick here, but this will be a great game. I don't think anyone is. This isn't like 2 years ago or whatever it was when Marcus Mariota went into New England, and everyone's like, they're going to run over him. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I'm just going to go with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in January at home over the unknown of Ryan Tannehill. But it is going to be a good game, and I'm very excited for it on Saturday night.
Does it count as threading the needle if the spread's 5.5 and I think the Patriots are going to win, but the Titans are going to cover? Is that close enough?
Yeah, that would be close enough. That would be just about close enough. I think once it gets to 6, I'm going to stop the thread the needle talk.
Okay, well, I think the Titans will cover. I got 23-20 as my final score. You got a spitball as to what you think the scoreboard's going to show at the end of the game?
I feel like it's going to be. Now, Ryan Tannehill, I don't know the weather. I have to look at the weather. You said there's a weather storm coming. Ryan Tannehill, in his 10 starts this season, Mike, 9-1 to the over. 9-1 to the over. So that's the dynamic offense we're talking about. They score points fast. It makes you want to take the under, seeing that Tom Brady and the way the Patriots, the DNA of this team, they're going to try to run the ball and keep their defense, rested and make sure that they control the clock because their offense isn't explosive. But I'll take the over, and I'll take Patriots 27, Titans 21.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.